Okay, time to rock and roll. Now, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you are on the call and you can hear me loud and clear today. What I want to do, I want to have a bit of fun and I want to show you just how easy it is to make money, literally to make money out of thin air. In fact, I'm going to show you some really simple business models that just about anyone can apply and use and start making money very, very quickly. So hopefully you guys can hear me loud and clear. Can you just let me know, pop it in the chat box if you can see me and hear me, because it has happened before where I have done a whole video, whole training, and I was talking to myself, no one could hear me. So please give me the thumbs up, let me know that we're doing well. All right, so people are coming in here now. Let me know, by the way, let me know who you are. Pop it into the chat box and let me know that who I am talking to, because it's pretty weird sitting here in the middle of nowhere. Oh, good. Okay, so I'm coming through loud and strong. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. What I want to do is I want to just, hopefully, if I do my job correctly, I'm going to help all of you become aware. G'day, Ty. Thanks for checking in. I want to let all of you understand that it really is quite simple to generate money when you change the mindset. And thank you, Nick, for letting me know you're on the call too. And so some of you might be rolling your eyes when I say, listen, you got to have the mindset before anything else will happen. And this isn't a woo-woo training. I'm going to give you very, very practical steps so you can start to make money and actually some serious money by the time I'm finishing this training. But I cannot stress how important it is for you to have the right thought processes going on in your noggin before you're going to start to make money happen out in the real world. That's all I'm really going to say about the mind stuff, because I'm more a mechanical dude. However, if you don't believe you can make this happen, you're right. G'day, Les. Good to see you on the call, mate. But if you do believe you can make it happen, you're right as well. So I say, listen, what have you got to lose? Let's just make it happen. So, all right. Now, what is business? Business is really solving problems for a profit. That's all business is. And when you get that, then that's when you start to realize that you should put your private detective hat on and start looking for problems everywhere so that you can solve them. Because if it's a big enough problem, you get a really big reward for it when you can solve it. So my 3 goals for today. Number 1, I want to show you just a traditional hustle business that anyone that wants to make an extra few dollars, maybe $500 a day, $700 a day, they can easily do this strategy. They can do it on the weekend, etc., etc. And you think about it, even if you just did do it on the weekend, made $700 a day, it's another $1,400 or $1,500 for the weekend. Well, you know, that's $6,000 a month. That ain't too shabby, okay? So that's $70,000 a year. That's more than most people make a year, or actually 76,000 is the average. So here's just one game plan for you. If you just use this one strategy I'm about to share with you, could just work Saturdays and Sundays and have the rest of the week off. Pretty darn cool. All right, so I'm going to show you that. It's a more traditional way. This is what we call the whacking and cracking strategy. Okay, so I'm going to show you a whacking and cracking way to make money. Then I'm going to show you another way to make money, but this is where you use your brain power, not your muscle power. Okay, the first one, you're really hustling and doing a lot more a physical thing. And the second option, you're more using the mind. So you're getting paid for outcome. That's the second business model that I'm going to share with you. And then I'm always very open and honest. I do have an agenda. I'm looking for a couple of sharp cookies that would like me to mentor them and help them create a very successful consulting practice. I'm just going to speak for probably 2 or 3 minutes at the end about what I believe is the simplest, most lucrative and personally rewarding career on the planet. How do I know? Because once I started doing it, guys, I've just never looked back. I just love what I do. So let's hook in, shall we? The first one, and this one I can't take all the credit for, but I did for fun do this over a weekend, and it is quite simple to do. So I saw Gary V. If any of you have heard of him, he's very big on social media. I saw him on a little YouTube video once. Well, I wonder if that really is possible. So here's how it works. You go around to garage sales. Now, don't hang up on me. Okay, don't go away when I say go to garage sales, because what I'm wanting you to understand is more the mindset and more the thought processes that go into making money. And if you were on the verge of saying goodbye when I talk garage sales, well, that means you're happy to kiss $70,000 a year extra goodbye without even knowing why. So I'm going to walk through this simple business model with you. And again, I won't take all the credit because Gary V made me aware of it. And here's how it goes. That's just a picture of him with his Bugs Bunny thing on. If you haven't heard of him, you should check him out. But he goes around to these garage sales. Well, he doesn't, but he's proving a point of how easy it is to make money when you don't have any. And so he just look for bargains. And when he does that, he's got a simple process, and this is how it works. You just type into Google a garage sale in the suburb you want to look in, and I'll show you exactly how to do that in a second. Look at the higher end suburbs, because obviously if you go to the higher end suburbs, they're going to have more valuable things, and they probably don't have as much of an appreciation for a dollar as the lower end markets. Okay, and then when you go to these garage sales, you're going to find some knickknacks that you can think might be worth more than they're asking for, because most people just want to get rid of this. I know when I do garage sales, all I want is someone to take the stuff away. Okay, so there's some pretty big bargains. If you ever hear me doing a garage sale, you should try and come to my place. So when you're buying something, here's one secret, and I use this whenever I buy anything, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to look you in the eye when I do this. Okay, so I raise my right eyebrow and I just look at them and I say, is that the best you can do? Now, whether I go into JB Hi-Fi or whether I go to get a vehicle or whatever I'm doing, any negotiation at all, okay, you're going to hear me say, now, is that really the best you can do? You'll be stunned at how people just go, oh, well, really? And they knock the price down for you. So remember that, because buying is when you make the money in this game, okay, when you're wheeling and dealing with this garage sale. And I'm showing you this for a bit of fun, okay? Some of you may love the idea and want to go out there and make $600 or $700 on the weekend, okay? But that's how you actually approach that one. So when you get these knickknacks, you're going to go to eBay, you got to go to put it onto Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree. People will buy this stuff, and you'll make 200 to 500% profit on this. Now, here's where the point is. This is why I wanted to show you this strategy. See, it's about margin, it's about profit, it's about return on time. So I would urge you, just for practice sake, for you to improve your communication skills, for you to get that hustle into you so that you start to make things happen. Do this for a bit of fun. Get out there and see what you can accomplish. So I'll share my screen. I'll share my, I'll minimize this, we'll maximize that. So let's just do this. This is how simple this is. I'm hoping you guys can still see my screen. Let's just say garage sale Mudgeeraba. I used to live in Mudgeeraba. That'll do. So we have a look here and we see what's available. There's Garage Sale Finder. Okay. Well, get up nice and early in the morning. Check out some of these garage sales and see what's in there. I was having a look. You've got there's a bric-a-brac one there, but there's this one here where they're moving house and they're going to an aged care. Well, there's going to be some deals there, guys. Okay. So again, I'm not promoting this as your long lost future that you've been looking for all your life to make money, but it's a great way for you to practice certain skills, get to talk to new people, get to wheel and deal, get into the habit of turning $1 into $5. You get the idea? Okay, so that's as simple as it is. Once you find those knickknacks, you just go into eBay or Facebook Marketplace, put them up there, whack a couple of 100% on top of them, and you're off to the races. Okay. So back to my slides. Does that make sense? Is that pretty simple? Who thinks that's a pretty simple idea? Okay. But, and again, if you've got children, maybe tell them if they're moaning and groaning about how much money they're making, tell them to get off their butt and go and do that, because it's a lot of fun. Okay. But here's another strategy that I'm going to show you. And this is where you start making some serious money. Okay. In fact, for most of you, it's a lot more money than most of you probably have ever made. Okay. So, and that is when you start to use your brain and start to realize that the real money, when you make it, is paid for outcome. Okay. That's when you make the real money. It's not when you're swapping time for money. It's when you realize that people will pay you a lot of money for outcome. That's a write me. If you've got pen and paper, I hope you do. See, when you learn to leverage the skills, it's possible to make incredible amounts of money. And I won't even start to tell you what is possible, because it might stretch your imagination a bit too far. But trust me, it can stretch a lot. So here's how it happens, is you learn to solve an expensive problem. What do I mean by an expensive problem? Well, let's just say you're a business owner and you're not on page 1 of Google. I would classify that as an expensive problem. Okay, there's lots of other expensive problems. Let's just say you've got a store, a retail store, and your team can't sell to save their lives. That's an expensive problem. Okay, when you've got a business and they don't know how to generate leads cost effectively, that's an expensive problem. So look for expensive problems out there and then work out how to solve them. Okay, so I'm going to stay with this Google one because everyone can relate to that. Okay, that was step 1. Now, step 2. Just develop some skills, and it doesn't take long. In fact, the example I'm going to show you literally takes me about 3 hours to show you how to help a business get onto page 1 of Google. I can show you step by step within 2 to 3 hours how it's possible for you to get most businesses onto page 1 of Google. Who thinks that'd be pretty cool? Put it in the chat box. Let me know you're still listening to me. Who thinks by investing 2 or 3 hours that learning how to get a business up onto page 1 of Google would be a very advantageous thing? Who thinks that a business owner might like that to happen? Pop it in there. Tell me if you think that'd be a valuable thing for you to learn how to do. Anybody? Don't leave me hanging, Les. Would you like to know how to do it? And again, this isn't an SEO strategy or me teaching you how to be an online master or anything like that. I want you to understand having the ability, Justin's a wise cookie, having the ability to solve an expensive problem is where you can make an incredible amount of money, okay? So let's just say I taught you that skill, okay? And you knew how to get into page 1 of Google. And again, I'll show you quickly on the web how that happens. But if you can do that, then what you do is you zero in on a target. So, for example, do you think a dentist might like to be on page 1 of Google? Or maybe an architect would like to be on page 1. Maybe a lawyer, maybe an accountant. Notice each of these niches that I'm talking about here. They're niches that have money, okay? The riches are in the niches. Okay, so and what you want to do, instead of trying to approach everyone, you focus on that niche and you become the expert for that niche. So the strategy I'm going to just quickly show you on here. Okay, let's just say, let me think. Let me Now, again, someone was playing funny fellows with my Google My Business listing the other day, some competitor, and they were trying to create havoc for me. So I do not know what's about to happen. This is me jumping without a net. But if I type in business consultant, I won't go Narang, I'll go Upper Coomera, because that's a pretty fancy business area near me. Okay, you'll see that's me, Streetsmart Business Consultants. Okay, and I'm numero uno, baby. It's not that hard to get your business up into what we call the 3-pack or the 6-pack. But what is critical is that a business is on page 1 of Google, because only 2.5% of people go to page 2 of Google. Okay, so where do you want to be? You want to be on page 1. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. It only takes 2 to 3 hours to learn the basics, and I stress that again, the basics of how to get somebody there. And so if I taught you that skill, imagine you have that skill right now, okay? And then you've zeroed in on a dentist or an architect or a lawyer or an accountant. And here's what you do with step 4. You simply just reach out to them, and you're not trying to sell to them either, by the way. You just reach out. You find a dentist and they're not on page 1, but their competition are, okay? Maybe you send them an email. Because, hey, listen, I'm thinking of a new business idea that I want to get off the ground. And I was wondering if you had a minute. I'll call you later today to see if you'd be open to me trying this business idea out with you, okay? But for free. It's not going to cost you anything. You make a phone call, okay? So, and again, here's just a simple script that I threw together today. Hey, listen, I'm putting together an idea for a business, and I was wondering if you could help me with some feedback for a minute. Now, I'm not trying to sell them, and I might even say to them that I've got nothing to sell. I've got nothing to sell, but I'd like to try my new system out on your business because I think I can get you on page 1. Would that be okay? No strings attached, won't cost you a cent, but I'd like to get you onto page 1 of Google. Would that be all right with you? Now, what do you think they might say to that? Who thinks they might say yes? I think there's a very good chance of that. In fact, I showed this to one of my advisors just a few weeks ago, and his name's Daryl, and so he went off to the races, and I said, listen, dude, get out there, use this strategy. And he did, and he got 6 clients in 6 days, and he's out there just going hell for leather right now, helping them, okay? Now, here's the other thing. So you're helping these, let's just say that you've got this dentist onto page 1. Do you think he'd be happy to give you a referral or a testimonial in regards to what you've just helped him do? Of course he would. And by the way, do you think that they'd like to stay on page 1? Because it does take a little bit of work to stay there. You've got to do just a little bit of maintenance, okay? So here's the thing, and this is how I build all my consulting. Simply prove you can help someone by actually helping someone. Pretty darn simple. So when they ask you how much it is, you say, look, it's not going to cost you anything. But it'll take me about 60 to 90 days. And would it be okay if you give me a testimonial and perhaps refer me to some of your friends if you think that'd be beneficial? And then you offer them a maintenance program. Now, people charge between $1,000 to $3,000 for this service, okay? That's what they charge. So let's just say you charge $1,000, okay? In reality, it'll probably take you about 8 hours work a month. That's on the high end, more than likely 4 hours, but I'll say 8 hours work a month to keep them up there. Well, that works out to $125 an hour, okay, for you generating that sort of result for people. And by the way, when you've got that result for them, your clients stay with you for a very, very long time because they don't want to lose that number 1 position. And that $125 per hour, that works out to $5,000 a week. That works out to $260,000 a year. With you investing 2 or 3 hours learning 1 skill to solve an expensive problem for a business owner. Who thinks that's pretty darn cool? I do. That's how we make our living as business consultants. And I had to laugh. I think I put a slide up. Oh, by the way, I am not making any promises, any financial claims. I don't know if this will work for you. I don't even know if you work, okay? I know my system works. I simply don't know if you do. So I'm not making any promises that you're going to make any money whatsoever from anything that I've just told you. Hopefully that keeps me out of court, all right? So to recap, business is about solving expensive problems at a profit. Look for an industry that has a problem and focus on that niche. Design the solution for that problem. Prove you can help the client or the prospect by actually helping them. And over deliver. Okay, pretty simple. Now, here's the thing. When you're making your money, do you think you've just helped that dentist when you get them onto page one? Of course you have. And that's why you usually see me with a smile on my dial, because I actually make my money by helping other people succeed. It really is one of the few win-wins that are out there. Okay. So now, with your permission, I hope I have it. Firstly, who thinks that's a really simple business model, and who can see, I'll put it in my email, who could see that that could work if you applied that strategy? Anyone out there reckon that they could see that working? So here's what I want to show you. It's the simplest, most lucrative and personally rewarding career on the planet. And this is from someone that's built 8-figure companies for myself. I've helped hundreds and hundreds of other business owners out there in their businesses. I don't know a better business model than business consulting. Okay. And I had to laugh. I really did have to laugh because I sent an email. In fact, I sent 2 out today to my list. So I don't know how many of you out there joined me from the list, but someone replied, and I quickly just cut and pasted this 30 seconds before I came on air. So I sent an email out letting people know I'm going to show them a very nice business model, and they had the chance to make 125 an hour, maybe more. And I got this response back from him. Says, thank you, but I already have a successful business. Oh, I didn't realize his business was up there. Streetwise Innovation, that I've been operating for more than 34 years. Maybe click on the link below to my website and you will see the range of services and training programs I provide. Oh, and by the way, I get paid a lot more than $125 per hour, but thanks for the info. Who wants to have a guess what industry he's in? I'd love you to pop it into the chat for me now. What industry do you think Ross is in? And I did not actually mean to reveal his business name, so I do apologize, Ross, and I'm very happy that you make more than $125 an hour, but it's not a bragging game here. That's not what I want everyone out there to think about. Who wants to have a guess what industry he's in? Pop it into the chat. Anyone want to have a wild stab at it? I'll beat you to the punchline anyway. So he's in business consulting, ladies and gentlemen. So I just thought that was very funny. I tried to cut and paste the whole thing. I just didn't have time to filter out only the names have been changed to protect the innocent. There we go. So here's an example of the transformation that happens with what I do. And I want to share this with you because, again, I'm looking for 2 very serious people that would like me to take them under their wing over the next 12 months and help recreate what you're about to see here, because I've got many, many examples of it. So I'm going to show you a gentleman called Mark. He was working massive hours as an engineer for about $100K. These days, he's making probably arguably more than me. He is working hard for it. I enjoy life a lot more these days. But I tell you what, this just says better than I could what the transformation of this knowledge can do for you. Okay, so check out what he has to say.
Hi, my name is Mark. Look, I just like to get a message out to you. Just some personal experience of myself prior to the business course, the business advisors course. Look, not so long ago, it would have only been 12 months ago, I was working in a job. I was probably putting in 16-hour days, doing work that I didn't really enjoy. I was an engineer. It's not that I didn't like doing engineering. It was probably all the processes and the leadership around myself. And I felt that I didn't have any flexibility in life. I felt that I was very much in a rat race. I really didn't have any control of my life. I wanted to get my life back. I just wanted to have some freedom when I wanted to do. I wanted to live life on my own terms. I'm really passing this message out to you today because, firstly, I didn't think it was possible. And I thought that was all fiction. But I've actually can say that personally myself, that that's not the case. I decided to take upon the business advisors course. I was in a position where I really thought I'd take a chance. I wanted to give myself a go at something and to live life on my terms. I had natural reservation by taking the course. There was a big upfront fee, and I didn't know whether I'd be able to transform myself with the skills to be able to make the differences to businesses as a business advisor. My natural life or my education didn't represent business. Well, I can tell you firsthand, 4 months onwards, I had more business I can handle, and I'm achieving far greater money than I ever did in my prior role. And it's only 4 months onwards. I can't thank Ian enough for this provided me, and the confidence and the support as well after the actual business advisors course, which has helped me live the life of my dreams, where I wanted to be.
So his life now, he's got 5 accountants that he works for. He charges them $5,000 a month. You do the maths. He works with them about an hour and a half each a week. And he's also built, his passion is horses. I bought a racehorse off him myself, I have to admit. So his passion is horses. So he's now also got a multi-million-dollar horse syndication business called Regal Bloodstock. All of that came from someone being willing to get the right knowledge to the right person at the right time. And so no more working 70, 80 hours a week for 100K, being told when to jump. He's got complete control of his life. So I'm not saying that's going to happen with you. But what I am saying is that I want to talk to people that are serious about wanting to build a consulting practice of their own. I've got one of the best track records out there for helping people succeed. So if you feel you might resonate with me and you like the idea of perhaps helping other people and making a great income for yourself, then I'd like to have a chat to you. Now, the way to get to me, if you click the banner above, if you're watching in our private Facebook group, you'll be able to get to me that way. And I'll put a link down in the comments section as soon as we're done, so you'll be able to get to me that way. But if you have a look on my pages, there'll be links everywhere that you could reach out to me in some way, shape, or form. But again, guys, I hope you've learned something today. And again, I hope more than that, you apply the knowledge that I've just shared with you, because with literally no money, with what I've just shared with you, you could go out right now, although you do need to learn how to get those people onto page 1 of Google. And again, it's not that hard. It's surprisingly simple. Okay, Daryl learned it. He's about 62, Daryl, and he learned it in about 3.5 hours, and he's out there. I told him to stop getting clients because you also have to deliver for your clients, okay? But he got so excited, he just went hell for leather. So anyway, gang, hope you enjoyed it. Any questions before I go and give my wife a big hug? It's going to be our 21st anniversary on Friday. So before I go and give her a big hug and tell her how lucky I am, are there any questions for me that you would like to ask before I say good night? Any at all? I will count to 3 and then just wish you all a lovely evening. 1, 2, 3. We're out, gang. Okay, so great. Hope you learned something, and I will talk to you next time. Bye for now.